my granddad always used to say, sometimes it's not necessarily the credentials of the person, it's the person themselves and the way they talk about themselves and the way they come across that's really important, you know. And I really get that from you. Sorry, you're gonna.
Yeah, I guess that's what you see sometimes now, that like people don't really look at the degrees anymore, like employers especially. They just see what kind of person you are, and then they tend to hire based on that, unless there's a huge corporation that they really need to have a degree in.
Yeah, I think it's definitely evolving in that direction. And when I recruit people, I'm really not interested in what qualifications they've got. You know, I'm not. There are certain things about the schooling system that are good in that they do help people socialise and they learn how to deal with other people. But I'm not a big believer in conventional education, and I think it's far better to get out there in the real world. The only thing I really want for my kids in the education system really is to come out happy and confident.
Exactly.
Because unless you want to be a lawyer or a doctor or something else, just being happy and confident, you're much more likely to be able to achieve at most things.
Massively.
Yeah,
I totally agree, because I think school, even if I kind of cast my mind back to school, it was never really a place that kind of championed communication, which is such a vital skill in itself. You're very much told off. You have to conform to a timetable. You've got loads of work to take home that's not even at school, like you're not doing at school. And I felt that it wasn't kind of gearing you up for life in that sense. It felt like just a sort of retention of information to then sort of put that on a piece of paper. And I didn't feel like that kind of connected with what the real human experience was.
And that retention of information, once upon a time, was a really important skill.
Yeah.
You didn't have the internet in your pocket.
Yeah. Totally.
Now, why do I want to retain loads of stuff which might be useful once in my life if I'm lucky, but maybe it's useful once, but actually give me 10 seconds and I'll look that up.
Yeah.
Now I've got it. The skill now is how to ask the right questions.
Yeah.
You know, and that might be whether you're on Google or whether you're on ChatGPT. You know, it's about how do you create a good prompt, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask as well, like, as you at the beginning of the episode, you mentioned that you went that route of selling lemonade, selling candies, and where majority of people were doing it. But then you also mentioned that you didn't go to uni, which majority of people went to uni. Do you think that going through that school system and through universities kind of kills that drive and natural ego to become entrepreneurial?
I do. I think it's a really good point, because I think what happens is you almost have it drilled out of you, because the schooling system, it was really built for Victorian factory workers.
Yeah.
You know, teach everybody to turn up on time. Now, that's a good skill. I get that. But it's do as I say, not as I do. Yeah, that's great for factory workers. Yeah, and no disrespect to factory workers, but you know, 100 years ago, that's what we needed: loads and loads and loads of factory workers and cheap labour.
Yeah.
And that's what the school system. It's not entirely doing that, but it's still hanging on to that.
Yeah.
And it's still 30 years behind. It's not in the iPhone generation. Education's not even caught up to the start of the iPhone generation. And now we're on iPhone 15. You know? Christ, where's ChatGPT and OpenAI and, you know, and large language models? Where are they going to be in 5 years' time? It's going to be epic.
Yeah.
Absolutely epic. And the school system is going to be exponentially behind at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah,
totally. And the fact that you go to school and they say, no, you're not allowed to use ChatGPT to write your essays. It's like, for fuck's sake, grow up.
Yeah.
You know, we need people with those skills. Need people to know how to use a sharp knife.
Yeah.
Not be afraid of it because they're going to stab somebody. Because a sharp knife is not just a dangerous weapon; it's also an amazing tool.
Yeah.
You know, you teach people